Bruno Fernandes, also known as Bruno Fernandes, is the king. Premier League assists in one season, 21. He has surpassed the great legend like Thierry Henry, the Vavavoom, and also one of the greatest midfielders ever to grace a football pitch in the Premier League, Kevin De Bruyne. They both got 20 assists in their single season. But Bruno Fernandes, aka Bruno Fernandes, has got 21 assists, and he could have got a lot more in the last game. But Manchester United defeated Brighton 3-0 away from home with literally like not even our best team. And I'm gassed and I'm sad and I'm all the emotions because today was the last fixtures of the Premier League, the 38th fixture, 25-26 Premier League season. It's finished in the Premier League for this season. Arsenal are the Premier League champions and they're going to get crowned right now as I'm doing this video. But I haven't got time to be watching that. I can see the highlights later. That's not important to me. What's important to me is Bruno Fernandes has gotten 21 Premier League assists in a single Premier League season. He has scored also 9 Premier League goals in a Premier League season and he's got 21 assists. That's 30 GNA in 38 games, and I don't even think he played every single 38 games. So, like, I know it's not all about numbers, but the numbers don't lie. And Bruno Fernandes is currently the best attacking midfielder in the Premier League right now, hands down. So Bruno Fernandes done it. Congratulations, bro. I'm really happy for him. I'm really, really happy for him. It's a really good achievement, and I know it's an individual. I know it's an individual award, but saying that, the team still had to contribute. Like, if it wasn't for Mateus Cunha, Brian Mbuemo, Sheshko, Casemiro, like, they scored the goals that Bruno Fernandes was delivering. So even Patrick Dorgu, it's a team game. I know it's an individual award, but Bruno Fernandes himself said it, like, without his teammates, he would have not been able to achieve it. And that's his first, like, he's got the I think he's got all them awards for the best player of the season already, and I think this is his first one. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, guys, so this is just like basically a Premier League 25-26 reaction. Myself Tango, and this is Stop Ball Watching. Let's go over the results that happened earlier today. Nottingham Forest draw 1-1 with Bournemouth. Morgan Gibbs White scores again, and Tavernier scored for Bournemouth. So it finished as a draw, 1-1. Palace 1, Arsenal 2. Arsenal are champions and they still won a game that they didn't even really need to win. Like, it didn't really matter. Liverpool drew 1-1 with Brentford. Liverpool had a horrid season. Burnley Wolves 1-1. West Ham won 3-0. West Ham won 3-0, by the way. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about that relegation situation. Let me just quickly go over the scores. Sunderland won 2-1. I got that right in my predictions. I need to go back over the matches and do another video to see how many I got right, because I think my predictions were on fire. I think I got majority of them right. Not the exact scoreline, but I got the results right. West Ham won 3-0. Tottenham won. Everton 1-0. And yeah, so Man United won 3-0 against Brighton. Okay, so Fulham won 2-0 against Newcastle United. Newcastle United have been awful this season, really bad. I don't know what's gonna happen with Eddie Howe, but they've been really, really, really bad. West Ham United, unfortunately, are relegated. Well, I don't care. Like, I don't really care about it. It doesn't mean nothing to me. But yeah, Tottenham Hotspurs just about survived, and I think Robert De Zerbi, I did say it a month ago, as soon as they appointed Robert De Zerbi, I said, you know what, Tottenham Hotspurs, basically, you avoided death. You was this close of getting annihilated, but Robert De Zerbi literally saved you in the last 5-6 games. West Ham United could have stayed up, but Robert De Zerbi was the difference. And let's be real, Tottenham Hotspurs are a bad team, but they did have at least 8 first team players out majority of the season. Yeah, so let's not beat around the bush, and let's be realistic as well. Let's be logical. I know we're football fans and I know we like to banter a lot, But let's get it real. Yeah, Spurs had at least minimum eight first team players out majority of the season, 95% of the season. So still they shouldn't be in a relegation fight, but you can understand. But it's back to back seasons. They finished 17th, and everyone thought it was sacking Ange was probably one of the worst things Tottenham did. Don't get me wrong, the way he attacks and the way he the defense was all over the place, but let's be honest, like at least you had goals in that team. You had goals, you had attack, you had flair, you had attacking football. So it saved you a little bit. This season, you had the reverse. You see, I know you had a lot of injuries, but you had injuries last season as well. Not to the extent to this season, but Ange's football kept you by like scoring. You outscored a lot of teams as well to survive. But this season, everyone thought, yeah, get rid of Ange. Well, the Spurs fans, most of them, and you thought that yeah, things are gonna change. No, you finished 17th back to back seasons. So I think owners and like CEOs and football directors stop being so quick with the trigger of sacking managers. If they're really bad, yes, they deserve to get sacked. Like Amorim with Manchester United, that was really, really good. Like when they sacked him, but they were a bit too late, in my opinion. But still, they did it. But you can't just be sacking managers over the littlest things. It's silly. There's gonna be no progress. And Mikel Arteta proved to the football world that with a proper process, and Arsenal did, with a proper process, you can make it work. But if a manager's not performing, obviously you do have to pull the trigger. But Tottenham Hotspurs, if you want to really like make something out of it next season and not be in the same position, I think most of the Spurs fans know this. The owners need to hear this. You need to invest properly with what Robert De Zerbi wants and give him actually 3-4 years to do a project. Even if it doesn't be really good next season, you still have to back him and believe in the process and do not argue with him because he's that type of manager that as soon as you tick him off, he's just going to self sabotage. And I don't think Tottenham Hotspurs can afford that next season. So, Spurs owners, you need to invest with your manager. And you're lucky, Tottenham Hotspurs. You're lucky. You're very, very lucky. Literally, on the last day, you survived. That's embarrassing. And you can understand a bit of it. But your rivals are lifting the Premier League while you just survive to stay in the league. Now, you can't be bantering any clubs, to be honest with you. You can't be bantering any of the top six. You can't be bantering Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool, um, Man City. You could banter Chelsea a bit because they're just as bad as you, but their badness started a bit later. Your badness started throughout the season. But yeah, so the Premier League season 25-26 season, I predicted Manchester United to finish sixth, and we finished third. And now also, I predicted that we finished sixth with Ruben Scamarim. So if we had Michael Carrick from earlier, and I still predicted us to finish sixth because I knew the squad was good enough to finish sixth, and it still is. Now we just need to invest in midfielders. But I'm happy with the season. Bruno Fernandes, 9 Premier League goals, 21 Premier League assists. We finished in the UEFA Champions League spot. We finished third best team in the league. And the points don't lie. So we were the third best team in the league. We were. Liverpool, one of the worst defending champions. Really bad. Arne Slot, the way he dealt with Mohamed Salah was atrocious and disgusting. I think Mo Salah is a legend of Liverpool, and I think the way Arne Slot disrespected him was uncalled for. I know managers, you're meant to listen to the manager authority and all that, but Mohamed Salah, all right, Arne Slot, you won him the Premier League, but Mohamed Salah has been Liverpool's biggest player in the last 9 years. One of the most important players. Listen, we're rivals, we're not enemies. I'm not gonna lie and slate like a child. I'm a grown ass man. And Mohamed Salah is a Liverpool legend and he's definitely a Premier League legend. But he's not better than Cristiano Ronaldo, even in the Premier League era. And Eden Hazard was a better footballer, but Salah's done way more to be in the legendary status. But Hazard was a better footballer. But it's not about that. Salah's a bigger legend and made much more of an impact for his team than Hazard did. But I like Hazard better. But I'm just saying. And don't you dare compare to Cristiano Ronaldo's 2006 to 2009 era, where we did the three-peat, won the UEFA Champions League, Ballon d'Or, all in 6 years. Please, there's levels to this, but that doesn't mean Mo Salah's like Ronaldo's one of the goats, him and Messi. There's levels to this, so please don't do that in the future, you Liverpool fans. And that lady as well, I don't even know her name, but I'm just saying, the one who insisted, she didn't even watch Ronaldo play for Man United and she's trying to give her opinion. But yeah, guys, this video was basically the match reaction to the 25-26 season. Casemiro's gone. He wasn't even in the squad. He already said his goodbye in his last game. A video will be coming out to honor the legends of the game and players that are coming to an end, like end of an era. There's a few. There's Liverpool ones. There's Mo Salah, Robertson, Man City, Bernardo Silva, John Stones, Pep Guardiola. That's a huge one. Casemiro for Man United. There's a lot of players that in the last 10 years that are not going to be no more like in the Premier League. So that's a bit emotional. Even as a rival fan, we appreciate good football. I love Manchester United. I really do. I love them with my heart. But I love football probably slightly a bit more because when I was an 8-year-old kid in one of my cousin's house, we went in the summer holidays and I remember watching, it was the World Cup summer. I remember watching R9 Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo, and that's that's when I fell in love with football. So technically, he's the first ever footballer I seen with my eyes. R9, yeah, and I was mesmerized. And that World Cup, I seen the final and semi final as an 8-year-old kid, and I could remember that very vividly. There's a lot of other things I can't remember, but I could remember that, like, that stuck with my head. And Rivaldo and players like that, and then the way my older brother basically supported Manchester United, even though we live in Birmingham. But he wasn't like the biggest football fan. But he always basically he kind of like showed me Manchester United in a way. But I was still too young to understand about a cult, about following a team, and just I didn't really know much about it. So yeah, just like as I was getting a bit older, I think the first, the 99 treble season, I'll be honest with you, I can't remember a lot of it, but I tell you the moments I could remember when that was the season where I became a Man United fan as well. It was literally the season after the World Cup, I started watching football. And because my older brother's a Man United fan, I already kind of knew who Man United was. David Beckham, that was my favourite Manchester United player growing up. David Beckham was he was basically how a lot of you liked Cristiano Ronaldo. He was my goat for Man United growing up. David Beckham. I tried like copying his free kicks. Ask my mates to play football with. The posture, everything is so ingrained in me. They always say you run up to the ball like David Beckham with the hand. It's all because I've been doing it since since I was a kid. Obviously nowhere near good as that, but I'm just saying the posture. So where was I? Yeah, so Man United, that treble season, Ryan Giggs with the solo, taking his top off. That sticks with me. Obviously, the final itself with the 2 goals, Solskjaer and Sheringham, that was like. But obviously, I can't remember the whole season. So, but I said properly, I started following Man United from when Van Nistelrooy, the summer we signed Ruud Van Nistelrooy, I started to like follow it as a kid. And then obviously, by the time I hit the age of 13, 14, I was like the way I am now. So let's just say I've been watching football for over 2 decades, and I've been following football for about fully about 15 years. Like, since basically, I say when we did that rebuild, when Chelsea went back to back with Jose Mourinho with the Premier Leagues, I say, that 2006 2007 season, yeah, that year, like, yeah, I remember that year. I followed it fully. So yeah, so I'm happy with Man United. We're gonna slowly get back to where we are. We are. It's just a matter of time. You just have to be patient with Carrick. Hopefully, Ineos and the Glazers back him in the transfer window. We need minimum, and hopefully we have to get it. 3 really good midfielders, 2 top class, 1 good squad rotation, a left back, a centre back is a must as well. People are on about the attack. No, I think we need more of a centre-back, a starting centre-back to pair with either Yoro, Heaven, Maguire, Delete, Martinez, whoever, I don't care. We need a starting centre-back, a squad left-back, two starting midfielders, one squad midfielder, and maybe one left wing. Right back situation is all right for now. We can't get everything in one season. Mazraoui and Dalot could do a job next season. FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Premier League, UEFA Champions League. That's 4 competitions. One's a league, 3 competitions. 2 right backs. Mazraoui and Dalot could share that out. They could literally share it out. It'll be no problem. Hopefully they don't get injured. But the midfield, we need 3. Centre back, 1. Left back, 1. Left wing, 1. Sheshko and Xerxes, keep him. Squad rotation. Xerxes, give him time. I know he hasn't performed the best, but can you really blame him? Has he really had an opportunity? He hasn't had an opportunity. I don't care what anyone says. Joshua Xerxes hasn't had an opportunity properly. So I still think we should stick with him. I think it's going to be a great season next season. But listen, it's about 25-26 Premier League season. Arsenal are champions. Manchester City are decent runners-up. And Manchester United, the greatest team in the world. I'm joking. Finished 3rd, which is above our expectations. And then after that, I don't really care. Aston Villa and the rest. And West Ham got relegated, unfortunate. Sorry, guys, but Spurs, you're lucky, man. Lucky. You would have got violated. Stop ball watching. Bruno Fernandes, the assist king of the Premier League, surpassed Thierry Henry and KDB in the assist. So when it comes to the greatest midfielder, Bruno Fernandes deserves to get mentioned for abilities and what he's achieved individually. I know Premier League is important to win it, the medals, the UEFA Champions League. Bruno Fernandes is 31 years old and he's a very fit player. He keeps himself fit. So if Bruno Fernandes he's still got another 3 top seasons in my opinion. And hopefully we win a Premier League in them 3 seasons. Stop ball watching, like, subscribe, share, hype. Please hit the like button, guys. Help me get 200 subscribers. Stop ball watching. And it's been a great season. Bruno Fernandes, the assist king. Casemiro, love you, bro. And all the best in the future. Guys, this isn't the end. It's just the end of the Premier League. A lot of content to come out. A lot. The World Cup. I'm going to cover the World Cup. I'm going to do watch-alongs for the World Cup. For the England games and the Brazil, France games. The big games. Stop ball watching and I'll catch you in the next one.